natural Botox alternative. So today we're joined with Deborah, who is an expert in facial exercises.
Hi.
And I've asked Deborah to help me and to help anyone else that wants to soften the look of lines on their face. So I've asked Deborah, I've said I use my forehead a lot. I don't want to do Botox. So what can I do? And you're going to show us a natural Botox alternative.
I am. Okay. Hi, everybody. So just to help you understand, for those of you that don't know, Botox actually relaxes very overworked muscles. So there are some parts of our face that we have to work to help it rise up, like our cheekbones. But our forehead and our eyes are overworked. And therefore, what Botox does, it relaxes all of those muscles to help them lift. What I'm going to show you today is a way of doing that with your hands. Okay, but what we're going to be doing is fairly vigorous massage into the muscles, so you do need some slip. So what I'm going to suggest is you take some oil and you put quite a large amount into your hands. Katie, do you want some?
Sure.
There you go, my love. Warm it up between your hands. Okay, and then press it into the areas that you're going to be working on. So into your forehead, sides of your temples, along the middle of your eyebrows, round your eyes, okay? I would rather you felt really greasy than not.
Yeah.
Because we are going to be working quite vigorously on the muscles. We don't want to be pulling the skin or hurting ourselves or bruising ourselves. So let's just massage that oil in, round our foreheads, underneath our eyebrows, between our eyebrows, underneath our eyes, and we will begin. Now, we're going to start off working on the forehead, and I'm going to show you an exercise that moves from the middle of the forehead across down to the side of the temples, where we'll take the pressure off a little bit, back to the middle of the forehead, down between the eyebrows to deal with the 11s lines, up again and to the side of the temple. Now, what we're going to do, we are going to take our hands and we're going to lay them on our forehead. Now, it's a bit difficult for me to see you, so you're just going to have to trust that we're going to do this together. Lay it on your forehead and just start to feel your hands engaging with your muscles. You don't just want to be lightly working on the skin here. You really are engaging with the muscles. Bring your shoulders down and breathe. And then we're going to start with this movement on the forehead. So here we go. I'm going to start moving up and down. And as I come to the side of the temples, I'm going to just take the pressure off a bit. But then as I come back onto the forehead, I'm actually going to be building the pressure up, down between the eyebrows, up onto the forehead again, and then carry on down to the side of the temples. And we're going to do this 5 times. So we've done it once already. Lightly onto the temples, back onto the forehead, down between the eyebrows, lightly back up onto the forehead, and back to the side of the temples. And what this is doing, it's warming the muscle up so that the fibers start to loosen, warm up, and become really, really ready to be opened up and relaxed. So this is number 4. So we're going to be on our final massage in a minute. Onto the forehead, down between the eyebrows, up again, along the forehead, down to the side of the temples, and then back up, and we stop. And I don't know if you can see, but already my eyebrows are rising because your eye muscle and your forehead muscle are interconnected.
Amazing.
So as soon as you start relaxing that forehead muscle, your eyebrows actually lift anyway.
Because I will say, Deborah, once a few years ago, I got fed up with these and I was like, oh, I am going to try a bit of Botox there.
Yeah.
I hated it because it made my eyes drop and it made my head, my eyes look really heavy. I couldn't wait for it to go, and I've never done it since.
Yeah, that is the problem actually. If you just inject your forehead and you don't actually start injecting your eye muscle, this relaxes, but then this can start falling down. So actually it's much...
so this actually makes your eyes lifted.
It does. It does. Now the forehead muscle is multi-fibrous, so that means it comes down and across. Now we've warmed up this way, we're now going to warm up this way. So we're going to take the sides of our fingers, starting at our hairline. Again, we're going to engage with that muscle and we're going to start scissoring along that muscle, right down to above the eyebrow and up again to the hairline. We're going to bring our fingers along. Then we're going to come down to the middle, right between our eyebrows, and we're going to come back up again. Don't worry if you start getting red, it just shows that the blood is really flowing to that muscle. We're going to come back up again. And then we're going to come down again, right between the eyebrows. Keep scissoring and keep that feeling of engagement with the muscle. We're going to come down again over the eyebrow and then very lightly over the temple and back up we come again. Keep your shoulders down, keep breathing, keep scissoring. We're going to come down again between the eyebrows, back up again, and then above the eyebrow, down to the side of the temple. And then we're going to just do a final scissor until we come up to the middle of the hairline. Now, what I would say, sometimes your shoulders can start to hurt a bit. If it really does cause some discomfort in your shoulders, you can do this laying down on a bed and that will really relax your shoulders.
My forehead feels lifted, my eyebrows.
Yes, I'm just going to sort my eyebrows out. Yeah, they will lift because what you're doing, you're relaxing that forehead space. So what I'm now going to say is that because we've really worked that forehead, we're going to now take our fingers, we are going to interlace them on our forehead, again above our eyebrows. Just feel your hands sinking into the muscle, and then you are going to, almost as if your hands are glued to the muscle, you're going to bring your hands out to the edge of your hairline and flick off. And we're going to do that 3 times. So interlace our fingers, engage with the muscle, and then as if your hands are glued to the muscle, we are going to lengthen that out, flick off. One more time, we're going to interlace the fingers, sink into the muscle, don't push down, just push in, and then engage with the muscle, open the muscle and flick out. And so you've really opened up your forehead. Now what we're going to do is work on our eyebrows and our 11 lines, and we're going to give ourselves a nice little lift at the edge of our eyebrows. So we're going to take one hand, bring it over our head and actually just place our fingers where our eyebrows. So put your little finger almost on the inside of your eyebrow and then the rest of your fingers on the eyebrow and push in. Don't push up or down, just push in. You're just pinning that eyebrow so it doesn't start moving. You're going to take your other fingers, your index finger and your middle finger. You're going to put one finger under the eyebrow, one over the top, and just take a moment to engage with that muscle. And then you are actually going to start moving along that muscle all the time, pushing this middle finger up. So you're actually opening up that eyebrow. So here we go. We're going to move along, engaging with the muscle. There's no point just pulling on the skin. And we are going to be pushing up with that finger until we get to the edge of our eyebrow. Then we're going to turn and angle it up to the hairline and let go.
Deborah, how do we know when we're engaging with the muscle?
Right, okay, so this is just feeling the skin.
Yeah.
Engaging with the muscle is actually sitting there and allowing your fingers to sink in and keeping a pressure.
Right.
Yeah. So here we go. We're going to push the muscle up again with that middle finger. We're going to trail on the other side of the eyebrow. And as soon as we get to the edge, we're going to come up at an angle and we're going to push up to our hairline. Okay,
Wow.
and we're just going to do that one more time. Engage with the muscle, push up. You're wanting to raise that eyebrow up, get to the edge and push up at an angle.
Ooh.
Okay, can you see? Yeah. Yeah, that's really raised it.
Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
And don't be scared. Yeah, you see mine's raised as well.
That's one I haven't done.
Yeah, and that's the one that we have done. Yeah. And what I'd say to you is don't be scared of pulling your skin. As long as you're engaging with that muscle, okay, the muscle will raise and your skin will sit smoothly on that
You've
muscle.
got to even me out, look.
I've got to even you
I've
out.
got
Shall we do the other side? Right. So we're going to take our hand, bring it over our heads. And again, this is why I said don't push down or up. You want to just press into that muscle. You're pinning it, keeping it steady. You're taking your other hand, your two first fingers, one underneath your eyebrow, one on the top. You're just giving yourself a moment to engage with that muscle. Relax your shoulders and breathe. And then you're going to trail that muscle all the time, pushing up with this finger. Okay, really engage with that muscle until you get to the edge, and then you're going to come up, keeping that engagement right up to your hairline and off. Okay, we're going to do that for a second time. Engage with that muscle, push that muscle up, push that muscle up, stop, and then come up at an angle to the hairline. And you might feel a few lumps and bumps as you're doing this. That's good. You're actually unknotting any sort of fascial adhesions or knotted muscles that cause your eyebrows to droop. Final one, finger under and over the eyebrow. Engage with that muscle. Really trail along, pushing this middle finger up. You get to the edge of your eyebrow and then you come up at an angle to your hairline and off you get. And then just straighten your eyebrows out. So can you see now that those eyebrows have really lifted?
Wow.
Yeah. 2 more exercises and then you're done. So you take the hard part of your hand. I'm just going to show it to you to start with. You put the hard part of your hand on the edge of your temple. And I've shown you before in exercises where you hold onto that temple and you open your mouth. That gives you a really lovely opening for your crow's feet area. It really opens up that temporal area. But we're going to add a little bit of something else to it as well. So we're going to put our hands, or rather the hard part of our hands, on our temple. With our hands on our head. We are going to open our mouths. Do you feel that stretch, Katie? And then while our mouth is open, we are going to vibrate our hands onto our temples and stop. That's it, Katie, you've done it. And what this is doing, a lot of closed eyes here, hooded eyes, are caused by tension in the temporalis muscle. And what we're doing, we're opening that muscle out.
This is amazing, Deborah. Where have you been all my life?
So we're going to do this twice more so people really get it. Okay, but one thing I would say, don't ever do the vibration when you're opening your mouth. You've got to open your mouth first and then vibrate. You've got too much going on.
So we keep our mouth open
when we do the vibration.
But we don't open the action while we do it.
Correct. That's it. I'm gonna have to work on the bottom half of your face, Katie, if you keep pulling those faces. Right, here we go. So we are going to, and actually if you can warm your hands, that's the other thing. Fascia and muscles love heat. They respond really well to heat, so we can always warm our hands up. So here we go, putting the hard part of our hand on our temple, holding and anchoring on our head, opening our mouths, and vibrating up onto our temporalis muscle. Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
We've got that. We don't need to do that another time. No.
You do that 3 times, yeah?
3 times.
Yeah.
And then finally, just to work on any crow's feet you've got here, that's something I really struggle with because I smile. And when you smile, you get lines. But a really lovely way of softening them is by taking your index finger and putting it where your crow's feet would be on the side. Your middle finger and your ring finger very lightly on that bone. Don't go into the soft tissue. So 1 at the edge, 1, 2 on the bone. And then imagine that you're looking up, you're squinting up. So you don't want to squint the whole eye. You want to just Can you see that, Katie? So you're almost squinting. That's it.
Oh,
just
just
the
the
bottom
bottom.
half.
Oh.
And what you're doing, you're pinning the eye muscle so it doesn't create more lines. By pinning it, you're opening that muscle out and creating a smoother look to your eyes. So if we do this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then let go. That's also wonderful for under eye bags and also for any dark circles, because it really is putting more oxygen and blood into that area.
To clarify, Deborah, I'm pinning the skin so my skin isn't
You're pinning
moving.
the muscle.
Pinning
That's
the
right.
muscle.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you're squinting upwards.
Because I'm a bit confused when you say the bottom. Is it just the bottom part of my eye here? That
All we're working, we're isolating this
Yeah.
muscle, the muscle that runs along the bottom, because we've worked on this top eye. But this is so delicate.
Is this
We've got to be a
right,
bit careful.
Deborah? So I've gone like.
So yeah, you've got one on the edge of your eye, you've got one on the bone, one on the bone, and then you're just sinking in very gently, and then you're squinting up, and you should feel that pull, that slight
Do I look
pull.
upwards?
You look up. No, you don't need to look upwards actually, but you're just isolating.
Am I doing it right, Deborah? Sorry.
Well, what you're doing actually,
I'm
and it takes a little time to get used to. You're sort of doing that, Katie.
Let me look up close.
Yeah, you're sort of bringing the whole eye in, because we've worked on this. We want to keep that nice.
Yeah.
What you need to do is imagine it's just that bottom eye that you're bringing up.
Lifting weights.
Yeah, that's it. And you are essentially,
Right,
because
got
actually
you.
what you're doing, you're really filling this area and making it much brighter.
So your little fingers are your weights.
Correct.
And you're lifting them up.
But you don't drag down,
No.
you don't push in too hard,
Right.
just enough to feel
I get that. I understand
that underneath
now.
your
Yeah,
fingertips.
thank you.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Thank
Lovely.
you.
So just do 10 of those and that will smooth this area out for you. And then you just finish off, because you've done a workout basically. Take your fingertips and just press along your forehead, along the sides of your temples, underneath your eyebrows, along the bottom of your eye muscle, on the bone, not on the soft area. And then just a little bit of tapping like raindrops on your face, up and down the side of your face, and then just 5 strokes down the side of your neck, just to let any lymphatic fluid that's been released let go, and you're done.
Wow, Deborah. So just to clarify, this isn't going to freeze our face.
No.
It's going to soften the look
Absolutely.
of lines and wrinkles.
Yes. And it will get rid of some. I mean, in my 40s, I was very lined across my forehead. So it has actually got rid of a lot of lines.
Yeah.
But when you're making a repeated expression, for example, like smiling, looking surprised, it will come back a little bit. But there are things you can do to absolutely soften and brighten that look.
So how often would we need to do these exercises?
I would say the forehead part,
Yeah.
you can do that every day. The forehead
Yeah.
gets so overworked.
Yeah.
The eye, which is a slightly more delicate area, I'd say 2 to 3 times a week.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
And the forehead just once a day?
Once or twice a day. The forehead actually, that
Yeah.
massaging you can do twice a day if you want to. It's a very robust muscle.
Yeah.
But the eye, and actually even working on your forehead will lift your eyebrows,
Yeah,
because
well, we
they're
saw
also
that.
interconnected.
Yeah.
But certainly working on that delicate eye area, I'd say 2 to 3 times a week.
Yeah, amazing. And what would you say if anyone's like, oh, but I want to get Botox? You're not against it or for it, you're just like, do
Absolutely. Look, if people want to do Botox, that's their choice.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's very different.
Yeah.
They've got different life choices. This is just an alternative.
Yeah.
One thing I would say though, if you have had Botox, you do not want to be doing this kind of exercise for at least 3 weeks after having it done, because it will just move it around too much. Once it's settled, you can do this kind of exercise, because actually what it will do, it will feed your muscles with oxygen and blood.
Brilliant. Deborah, amazing as ever. Thank you so much.
An absolute pleasure. Thank you, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.